On what planet is it a good idea to allow people who come to our country illegally to sue the British taxpayer for things like the hot water not being hot enough, or for getting diphtheria, a contagious disease? It's like me suing a hospital for getting the flu. It's utter insanity, and once again, the British taxpayer is picking up the tab.
Sorry, I mean, I thought, as usual, you were just going to give some random examples, but you are actually aware of the diphtheria. And I think that's quite a flippant remark, really, just saying, one person actually died from the diphtheria there, and there were thousands of people in a space that should only have held a few hundred.
Yeah, but that's not the taxpayers' fault. It's a contagious illness. They could have picked it up in Calais. They could have picked it up on a dinghy. They almost certainly picked it up from another illegal immigrant. Why is that
exactly? And that's
grounds to sue the taxpayer?
Yeah, well, ideally, I think I'm with you. Ideally, we should sue Suella Braverman, who did this, committed this unlawful act. But unfortunately, that's how it works. We pay their salaries, they do all of this, they go away, and we end up paying the price for it. But the point is, the person who died and all of the others who contracted this infectious, contagious disease, when we knew at the time, people like myself were saying, this is unlawful, this is evil, this is nasty. This is like a petri dish of infections, and you're just locking up these people there. I know everyone's fond of saying, these fighting age men, these young men, we don't know where they come from. Yes, so when they're living in our communities, we don't know. But there, we actually had a space for a few hundred. There were about 4,000 people there, and men, women, children, all sleeping together, sleeping on cardboard boxes together. Why did no one care then that we don't want children sleeping right next to strange men? No one cared about the children then. So I just don't understand what we're trying to say here.
I put it to you, Dr. Khan, if you're coming to the country illegally, supposedly fleeing a war-torn state, they're not, they're coming from France, but just supposing that they are fleeing inhumane conditions, how is it inhumane to be put into barracks where you're fed by the British taxpayer and then to turn around and say, oh, I don't like the food, or the water's not hot enough? That's not inhumane. It's insane.
Or I've contracted a contagious fatal disease and I die in hospital a day later after everyone screaming to the Home Secretary, do not do this, do not stuff them all there. But that's the thing, no one's asking Suella now, are they? That's the problem. Why is no one putting it? And just a few weeks later, once there was lots of uproar about this and people were already threatening to sue, that's when they emptied that. That's when obviously all this hotel stuff happened. So why is the government never prepared for any of this? And I really don't understand. I thought this would be the one issue that everyone would support these vulnerable people. The women, the women, the children, potentially life-changing problems that happened during those few days. That's supposed to be a 24-hour holding facility. The law says we can't hold people for more than 24 hours, one day at the most.
Well,
because of the conditions there.
Dr. Khan,
and in fact, some people were there for more than a month.
Dr. Khan, the Home Office doesn't agree with you because, for once, they're standing up to the human rights laws. They're saying, no chance, you're going to have to go to court. And perhaps you'll use this instructional manual by Keir Starmer, who wrote the book on how to use the human rights laws to supersede British sovereignty, of how to make sure that people who come to our country illegally are suddenly ones getting a handsome payout from the British taxpayer.
Yeah, and what a pity that once upon a time we would actually have been on the side of the vulnerable people who died, who were about to die, who contracted these infections, and their families. Now he's on the other side and he's in fact saying...
Why is it the British taxpayer's fault if somebody contracts an infection in a containment centre, which they almost certainly caught from another illegal immigrant? Why should British taxpayers have to pay for that? That's madness.
I think that's unfair and wrong as well, but that's how our democracy works. We elect these people. We don't have much choice. We don't like any of them, but somehow they become our leaders. We pay them hundreds of thousands during the years in Parliament. They make
so
all
can I take my general practitioner to court if I catch the flu? Of course I can't. You'd think I was insane if I said that. That's what's happening here.
Well, if he locked you up in a room where he knows other people have contagious diseases and your lawyer's begging him to release you and he keeps you there for a month, and then something, God forbid, happens to you, then yes, of course you should sue him. Are you seriously saying you wouldn't sue your doctor if that's what happens, if he keeps you in a room where he knows someone else has a contagious disease? Definitely...
Dr. Khan, if I could see a doctor at the moment, I'd be happy. I'd be doing cartwheels. I can't get a blooming appointment. And that's because we're overloaded with nonsense claims like this.
And somehow that's the fault of that person who died of diphtheria? So how is that not the government's fault?
You could say it's as a cause of uncontrolled immigration. I digress. We have to leave it there. I could argue with you all day, I sincerely could, but we have to go.